Let us continue atomic structure. In atomic structure, let us see Bohr's radius of orbit derivation. Bohr's radius of orbit derivation we'll see. Now we will take hydrogen atom. In the hydrogen atom, nucleus contains one proton, so charge of nucleus is plus E. Charge of nucleus is plus E. Then we will take He plus. This atomic number is 2. So this nucleus contains 2 protons. So the charge of nucleus is plus 2E. Plus 2E. Next we will take Li2 plus. This atomic number 3. So nucleus contains 3 protons. So charge of nucleus is plus 3. Like this, now we will take a hydrogen-like species. Now we will take generally hydrogen-like species. We'll take hydrogen-like species. Now the nucleus contains what is the charge? What is the charge of nucleus for hydrogen-like species? What is the charge of nucleus for a hydrogen-like species? What do you say? Now you say you are given hydrogen-like species. For hydrogen-like species, what is the charge do you say? What is the charge do you say? It is general. Hydrogen-like species means anything you can take. So in general you have to say. So for hydrogen-like species, what is the charge? What is the charge of nucleus? That point you say. So it is a charge of nucleus. What is the value do you say? Say this value, charge of nucleus. Take atomic number symbol is Z. Atomic number symbol, hydrogen-like species, atomic number symbol is Z you take. Charge of proton you take plus E. Charge of proton you take plus E. Okay. So now you say charge of nucleus for hydrogen-like species. In general you have to say. Okay. So hydrogen-like species, nucleus charge you have to say. Its atomic number you take Z. Charge of proton you take plus E. Plus E you take. Okay. Because here you see hydrogen nucleus contains one proton. So charge is plus E we said. Plus E means charge of one proton. He plus atomic number 2. So nucleus contains 2 protons. So we said plus 2E. Lithium Li2 plus atomic number 3. So nucleus contains 3 protons. Charge is plus 3E. Like this hydrogen-like species means it can be anyone. So its atomic number we will give Z. Atomic number we will give it as Z. Okay. So atomic number is Z we are giving. Now, what is the charge of nucleus? What do you say? Charge of nucleus, what is the value you will say? Charge of nucleus is how much? Charge of nucleus is how much? What is the charge of nucleus, shall we say? What is the charge of nucleus? That point you say. Okay. So now we are taking a hydrogen-like species. Hydrogen-like species we will take. It is having nucleus. It is having nucleus. That nucleus we will take. It is having nucleus. That nucleus we have taken. It is a nucleus of hydrogen-like species. This charge we have to write it. Charge we have to write it. That you have to say. Next, this hydrogen-like species is having electron. That electron is revolving around the nucleus in a certain circular path called stationary orbit. It is called what means a stationary path. This stationary path is circular path. In this circular path is called a stationary orbit. Sir, okay. So now we will see again. This hydrogen atom we will take. Hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom we are taking. Its atomic number is equal to 1. So it is having 1 proton. It is having 1 proton. Now we will take charge of electron. Charge of electron we will take it as how much means minus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. It is a charge of electron. It is determined from Millikan's oil drop experiment. Okay. Next, we will take a charge of proton. Charge of proton we will take. Charge of proton is equal to plus this much value. Charge of electron is equal to minus this much. charge of proton is equal to plus this much. So charge of proton and charge of electron, magnitude is same, sign is opposite. Okay. So now we will take a relative charge of electron. Relative charge of electron. Relative charge of electron is how much in the sense -1. It is a relative charge of electron. Okay. Relative charge of electron is how much means -1. Now we will take a relative charge of proton. Relative charge of proton is how much means +1. Relative charge of proton is how much means +1. That means proton is positive, electron is negative, but magnitude is same. Magnitude is same. Okay. So we will, if you take a charge of electron is minus E, if you take a, then charge of proton we will take a plus E we will take. Because magnitude is same. Magnitude is same, only sign is opposite. So if you take charge of electron is minus E, then charge of proton we will take as plus E. Now this hydrogen atom, for hydrogen atom atomic number is 1. So hydrogen atom nucleus contains 1 proton. So 1 proton means the 1 proton means we can say plus E is the charge of proton. Because charge of electron we will take minus E, charge of proton we will take plus E. Why? Because why we are saying E in both cases means electron charge and proton charge magnitude is same. Magnitude is same. Therefore, for electron charge we will take minus E, proton charge we will take plus E. If you want to take +1 also you can take. Charge of proton is a relative charge of proton is +1 we will take means we will, if you want to take we can take. Nothing is there. So in the place of E, what we are going to substitute? 1 we are going to substitute if it is relative. If it is actual charge, what we are going to substitute? 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Okay. So in the place of E, we will substitute this magnitude. Actual charge means. Relative charge means 1 we will substitute. There is no difference. So because proton charge magnitude, electron charge magnitude remains same. So that we are saying a charge of electron, if you take minus E, then charge of proton will take as plus E. Okay. So hydrogen atom atomic number is 1. So this nucleus contains 1 proton. 1 proton means its charge is plus E. That means in the place of E, if you want to substitute a relative, then you can substitute 1. If you want to substitute actual, then you have to substitute 1.60 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. You have to substitute. Sir. So it is for hydrogen nucleus. Hydrogen nucleus contains 1 proton, therefore the charge is plus E we are saying. He plus if you take, its atomic number is 2. This atomic number is 2. So this nucleus contains 2 protons. 2 protons means multiply this with 2, so we will get plus 2E. It is a charge of a nucleus. Now Li2 plus, for this atomic number is 3. So this nucleus contains 3 protons. 3 protons. So multiply this by 3, you will get a plus 3E you will get. It is a charge of Li2 plus. Now in general we will see hydrogen like species. Atomic number means just a symbol we can say Z. We cannot say atomic number is 1 here. Here we said atomic number 1. Here we said atomic number 2. Here we are saying atomic number 3. Here we cannot say atomic number unless we are mentioning species. So in general we have to say Z. So you have to multiply this with what such that charge of nucleus you will get for a hydrogen like species in general. See, here we said it is having 1 proton in the nucleus, so we said plus E is the charge. Its atomic number is 2, therefore its nucleus contains 2 protons, so we multiplied this by 2 and we said charge of this nucleus is plus 2E. Its atomic number is 3, so this nucleus contains 3 protons, so we multiplied this by 3 and we said the charge of this nucleus is plus 3. It is general. Hydrogen like species is the general. For this atomic number is how much means Z. Hydrogen like species is the general. For this atomic number is Z. This nucleus charge means this we have to multiply with what you see. Nucleus contains how many protons you see. Species is not mentioned. So nucleus contains Z number of protons. So you have to multiply this with what? Okay, you multiply this with atomic number, that will give number of protons. So you multiply this with atomic number. Its atomic number is how much? Species is not mentioned. So general you have to take. General is what? Z. So multiply this charge of one proton with the atomic number, you will get the charge of nucleus. So what is the charge of nucleus, will you say? What is the charge of nucleus here? So charge of nucleus means what you have to do? You have to multiply its atomic number with the charge of proton. Charge of proton we have taken how much? Charge of proton we have taken how much? Plus E. Why we have taken plus E? If you want to substitute actual charge, you substitute this. If you want to substitute relative charge, you substitute this. As per the need, as per your need, you substitute it. If you want actual, you substitute this. Relative, if you want, you substitute this. That's all. So you are saying that charge of nucleus is how much, means plus Ze, you are saying. Sorry, okay. So you came to the conclusion, charge of nucleus is plus Ze, you said. So charge of nucleus is over. Next we have to see about electron. Okay. Now we will take this hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom is having one electron. This is having one electron. Okay. So that electron, hydrogen atom is having one electron. That electron is revolving around the nucleus. That electron charge is how much, means minus E. That electron charge is how much, means minus E. See that charge of electron we have taken minus E. Charge of electron is how much, means minus E we have taken. In the place of E, if you want actual charge, you substitute 1.60 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. If you want to substitute in this place a relative charge, you substitute 1, depending on your point of view. Okay. What you are substituting, as per that unit you have to see, and that unit you have to consider. If you substitute this value, you consider unit as coulomb. If you substitute this value, you should not substitute unit, because it is relative. It is relative. So don't substitute unit here. So for this substitute unit coulomb. Sorry. Okay. So hydrogen atom is having one electron. So that electron is revolving around its nucleus. That electron charge is minus E. Then we will take He plus. This He plus is having how many electrons, do you say? Its atomic number is 2. This nucleus contains 2 protons. So we said nucleus charges plus 2E, we said. Now it is having how many electrons? This He plus is having, unipositive helium ion is having how many electrons, you think and say. This lithium, atomic number 3. This nucleus contains 3 protons. So this charge of nucleus we said plus 3E. Now we have taken Li2 plus. In this Li2 plus, how many electrons present? Li2 plus, dipositive lithium ion. It is a dipositive lithium ion. You are saying that it is having 1 electron, because hydrogen-like species. Hydrogen-like species means it is like hydrogen with respect to electrons. Hydrogen-like species means this species is just like hydrogen. How hydrogen is having 1 electron, like that this species also having 1 electron. So remember that hydrogen-like species will have electrons as like hydrogen. Therefore, hydrogen-like species is having 1 electron, but atomic number is not 1. Hydrogen-like species means for this species, atomic number is not 1. Okay. For hydrogen, atomic number is 1. So nucleus contains 1 proton. He plus is hydrogen-like species, but its atomic number is 2. This nucleus contains 2 protons. But regarding electrons, if it is here number of electrons is like hydrogen, so that we are saying it is an example for hydrogen-like species with respect to electrons. So it is having how many electrons, means 1 electron. It is having how many electrons, means 1 electron. So hydrogen-like species means that is having 1 electron. So hydrogen-like species means that is having 1 electron, but atomic number is not 1. Okay. So hydrogen-like species means number of electrons is like hydrogen 1, but atomic number is not 1. Atomic number varies for different species. Okay, so this hydrogen-like species is having one electron. That electron is revolving around the nucleus. That electron charge of that electron is minus e. Charge of that electron is minus e. So for hydrogen-like species, we said nucleus, we said, and regarding electron, we said. Now you see the charge of nucleus. Nucleus is having which charge you see? Positive charge or negative charge you see? So you know that nucleus is having positive charge. Here electron is revolving around the nucleus. You know that the electron is having negative charge. So it is a positive charged species. It is the positive charged sphere. It is a negative charged sphere. It is negative charged electron. This electron is negative charge. So it is positive charge. It is negative charge. Between them, will there be any interaction? Now it is positive charge, it is negative charge. It is stationary, but it is revolving around it. Okay, it is revolving around this. So now you say that this electron is revolving around the nucleus because between nucleus and the electron will there be any interaction? Shall we say attraction? Sir. So you are saying that between this nucleus and this electron attraction is possible. Sir, attraction is possible. Sir, the force of attraction between these two, is what shall we say? Force of attraction between them is what? What is that value? What is the value do you say? Force of attraction. Now this nucleus is attracting this electron. Between these two, attraction is possible. What is that value? What is that value? Between these two, attraction is possible. Okay, attraction is possible. That force is how much? What is the force of attraction? What is the force of attraction? What is the value do you say? What is the force of attraction? Sir, force of attraction between two bodies is directly proportional to charge of one body into charge of another body by distance between two bodies square. Okay, force of attraction between any two bodies. Force of attraction between any two bodies is directly proportional to Q1, called charge of one body. Q1 is called charge of one body. Q2 is called charge of another body. Q2 is called charge of another body. R is called distance between this body and this body. R is called distance between this body and this body. Okay, that means distance means center of this body to center of this body. That is called distance. Distance is square. It is force of attraction. Now Q1 is called charge of one body. Here one body is called nucleus. Nucleus is one body. Nucleus is one body. Its charge is plus Ze. Q2 is called a charge of another body. Another body is electron. Its charge is minus E. Its charge is minus E. Now we will substitute a force of attraction. Force of attraction will substitute. So this force is directly proportional to Q1. Q1 is called a charge of one body. Charge of one body means here one body means nucleus is one body. Nucleus charge is how much means plus Ze. That we will substitute. Plus Ze we have substituted. Q2 is called a charge of another body. Another body is what means electron is the another body. Its charge is how much means minus E. Minus E is the charge by R. R is called a distance between these two bodies. Distance between this body and this body. R is called a distance between these two bodies. Q1 and Q2. R is called a distance between these two bodies. That means a distance means from where to where? From this center point to this center point. Okay, this body center point to this body center point, that distance is called R. Now we will see that distance. Now we have to see that distance, so we will take center point here. Nucleus center point we will take. Nucleus center point we have taken. This electron center point we will take. Electron center point. Now this distance is called R. Okay, so remember that R is called distance between Q1 body and R is called distance between Q1 body and Q2 body. Okay, so from where to where? In this body center point to in this body center point. Okay, so first body is nucleus, for the center point is this point, for second body is this electron, for the center point is here. From this center point to this center point is called R, that is radius distance. So R we said. Now this R is called what? This R is called what? From this center point to this center point means is it called this is called what of this circular path? For this circular path, this R is called what? For this is electron is moving like a circular path only, no? That is only Niels Bohr said. What Niels Bohr said? Electron movement is what means circular path. So you are saying that this R is called what means you are saying radius. Okay. So that radius will substitute here and the square will substitute here. So force is directly proportional to this. Then we can say that force is equal to some constant we are substituting. That constant is K. Here proportionality is there. In the place of proportionality we are substituting equal to. So when you replace proportionality by equal to, you have to substitute a constant. That constant we substituted. This Z we will substitute Z. This E, here one E, here one E. Therefore E square we will write. Then this R square we will write. We have written R square. Here charge, here plus charge, here minus charge. Let us multiply plus and minus. So we will get a minus sign. So it is called a force. What is this force? Attraction between nucleus and electron. So attraction between nucleus and electron. What is that force? That force of attraction is minus K Z E square by R square. Minus K Z E square by R square. Sorry, okay. Now we will continue in this radius of orbit derivation. We will continue. Next, now we will consider circular motion. Circular motion we will consider. During circular motion, how many forces will act? How many forces will act? Suppose we are riding vehicle. When turning comes, curve turning. Okay, during curve turning, how do you feel? During curve turning, how do you feel? Do you feel inclined or do you feel perpendicular to the earth surface? During curve turning, okay, when you are driving the vehicle, suppose cycling during curve turning, during turning point, during turning place in the sense curve, at that time the cycle will be perpendicular to the earth surface, otherwise inclined. What do you say? Inclined. So when we are riding the cycle, while turning place, so you are saying inclined. Inclined means what are the forces act? Inclined because of forces acting. Why inclined? Do we wantedly incline? Do we wantedly incline the cycle and us? No. So some force is acting. What are the forces act? What are the forces act such that inclined in curve motion? In circular motion, inclined because of what forces? Because of what forces? Because of what forces means we will take this is the center point. We will take this as the center point. It is a curve. It is a curve. Okay, it is a curve. Now this center point, you are saying that centrifugal force and centripetal force you are saying. Okay, that means you know that. So you are saying that one force is centripetal force, another force is centrifugal force. You are saying, what about the magnitude of these two? Will they be equal and opposite, shall we say? Or what do you say? Shall we say centripetal force and centrifugal force equal and okay. So you are saying centripetal force and centrifugal force are equal and opposite, you said. Okay. So now we will see. Now here this electron will take, electron is making a circular motion around the nucleus. Electron is revolving around the nucleus. This motion is a circular motion. Electron is revolving around the nucleus. This motion is what means a circular motion. Circular motion in the sense what are the forces it will experience. Nucleus is the center point. Now this electron is making circular motion. This electron is making circular motion around the nucleus. So what are the forces it will experience? Will it experience centripetal force and centrifugal force, and both will have same magnitude and opposite sign? Will it experience that? Sir, so electron is making a circular motion around the nucleus, so it is feeling, it is experiencing a centripetal force and centrifugal force. It is feeling centripetal force and centrifugal force, we can say. Okay, so it is getting two forces. It is experiencing two forces. One is called centripetal force, another one is called centrifugal force. Both are having equal magnitude but opposite sign. That's why it is not falling. That's why it is not falling into the nucleus. Electron is not falling into the nucleus. Why? Because centripetal force is equal to minus of centrifugal force. That's why electron is not falling into the nucleus. Otherwise, electron will fall into the nucleus. So now we will see this electron. This electron is revolving around the nucleus. Is it falling into the nucleus? No. Otherwise, if it is falling into the nucleus, then atom will collapse. But atom is existing. Atom is existing means it is not collapsing. It is not collapsing means electron is not falling into the nucleus. Electron is not falling into the nucleus means how these two forces should be there. How the centripetal force and centrifugal force should be there for the electron. They should be equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. Then only electron will not fall into the nucleus, otherwise it will fall. Okay, so this electron experiencing two forces. One is centripetal force, another one is centrifugal force. Both are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. That's why electron is not falling into the nucleus. Sir, okay. Now, centripetal force is called inward force. Centripetal force is called inward force. What is that inward force value? That centripetal force is inward force. Inward force means this force. Now that force and this value, what is that relation? This relation, this minus k z e square by r square. Minus k z e square by r square is there now. This is called force of attraction between nucleus and electron. Now we are saying it is experiencing two forces among, out of that one is centripetal force, another one is centrifugal force. Is there any relation between this force of attraction and centripetal or centrifugal, whatever you want to you relate? Is there any relation? Shall we say centripetal force is equal to inward force? Inward force means nucleus is attracting electron, that is called inward force. So centripetal force is equal to minus k z e square by r square, shall we say? Or centripetal force will have some value. What shall we say? Because we said for this electron centripetal force is equal to centrifugal force, we said. For this electron we said centripetal force is equal to centrifugal force with opposite sign. Now you say centripetal force of this electron is equal to minus k z e square by r square, shall we say, or we should not? What do you say regarding this, sir? So you are saying that minus k z e square, that means you are saying the value centrifugal force as well as centripetal force, both values you are saying that centripetal force is this much magnitude. Sorry, okay. So you are saying centripetal force, that is equal to force of attraction between nucleus and electron, that is how much means minus k z e square by r square, and centrifugal force is how much means mb square by r. Centrifugal force is mb square by r. So centrifugal force is nothing but force of attraction between nucleus and electron. That value we got already, minus k z e square by r square. Centrifugal force is how much means mb square by r. M is called mass of electron, v is called velocity of electron, r is called radius of orbit. Here radius you cancel it, one radius if you cancel, and cancel minus also, and simplify it, what you will get, you see. So you are getting a kz e square by r is equal to mb square. This value we are getting. Kz e square by r is equal to mb square we are getting. Now we will take a orbit angular momentum of electron. Orbit angular momentum of electron as per Niels Bohr. Orbit angular momentum of electron as per Niels Bohr. That is how much means Niels Bohr says that angular momentum, orbit angular momentum is equal to nh by 2 pi. It is as per Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr says orbit angular momentum is equal to nh by 2 pi. Next we'll see angular momentum. Momentum means linear momentum we will take. Linear momentum. Linear momentum formula is what means mass into velocity. Now angular momentum. Angular momentum formula is what means mass into velocity into radius. Okay, so this angular momentum is equal to what means mbr. That mbr we are substituting. So from this we will write, we will rewrite this. So v is equal to nh by 2 pi mr. V is equal to, from this we are getting v, that is nh by 2 pi mr. Substitute this v here. We are substituting this v here. Substitute this v here. What value we will get, that you see. So let us substitute v. So we will get k z e square by r is equal to m. V value we will substitute. So nh by 2 pi mr. So this square we will write it. Sir, then we will cancel the some terms. M we will cancel one term. One time we will cancel m. So we will get k z e square, and r also we will cancel one time. One time r we will cancel. K z e square is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square. Then m r we will get. Okay, so now we want radius of orbit. R is called radius of orbit. Radius of orbit is equal to what value means n square h square by 4 pi square m k z e square. Okay, so this r is called radius of orbit, that is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square k z e square. It is a radius of orbit. It is a formula for a radius of orbit. So r is called radius of orbit, we can say. So r is called here, r is called what means radius of orbit. R is called radius of orbit, we can say. Then this n is called n is equal to whole number 1 2 3. It will take positive whole number, positive integer. H is called Planck's constant. H is called what means Planck's constant, we can say. H is called Planck's constant. Pi value, you know. M is called mass of electron. M is called mass of electron. Okay, M is called mass of electron. How do we say M is called mass of electron? M is mb square by r means centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is felt by which one? Electron is feeling. Electron is getting centrifugal force. So M is called mass of electron. Okay, so M is called mass of electron. K is called constant. This K is equal to what means constant. This K is called a constant value. This K is called constant value. This constant value is how much, that we'll see. This k is constant. This value is how much, that we'll see. Now this we will take from this one, that is force is equal to minus k z e square by r square. Okay, so k is equal to what means minus this force into r square by z e square. For force SI unit is what means Newton. R means radius. For this SI unit is what means meter, so meter square. Z is atomic number. Atomic number is a term which says number of protons. Since it says number of protons, it is not having unit. E is called charge of electron. For charge of electron, what is the unit means Coulomb is the unit in SI system, so square we will write it. So Newton meter square per Coulomb square. It is the SI unit for this K. So for K, what is the SI unit means Newton meter square per Coulomb square. It is SI unit. What is the value means the value is 9 into 10 to the power of minus 9. 9 into 10 to the power of minus 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. In CGS system, CGS it is in a SI system we can say. In CGS system, what is the value? In the place of Newton, you substitute what means in the place of Newton you substitute dyne. In the place of meter you substitute centimeter. In the place of Coulomb you substitute ESU, electrostatic unit. Okay, that square you substitute it. Okay, now the K value is how much means 1 in a dyne centimeter square per ESU square per ESU square. It is a value of K we can say. Sir. Next we will say Z. Z is called what means atomic number. Z is called atomic number. E is called charge of electron. E is called charge of electron, which is equal to minus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. We should not substitute charge here. Why we should not substitute sign here means this E means magnitude of charge of electron, because already we mentioned sign we already mentioned. Okay, therefore sign again don't mention it. So this E is called the magnitude of charge of electron. Okay, remember that this E is called the magnitude of charge of electron. The magnitude of charge of electron is how much means 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, here sorry, so we got this much value. Here plus 9 I think so. It is not minus 9 because Coulomb is greater than ESU only, no? Coulomb is greater than ESU. Okay. So here E is called charge of electron. E is called charge of electron. Charge of electron is how much means plus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. SI unit is coulomb. CGS unit is ESU. Now let us substitute all the values here for radius of orbit. Okay. So radius of orbit is equal to n square h square by 4 pi square m k z e square. Now we will substitute the values. N value is called first orbit means first, second orbit means 2, like this. So n square will keep like this. H value we will substitute. H value is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Joule second. It is a Planck's constant value. By this 4, pi value will substitute 3.14. M is called mass of electron. Mass of electron is 9.1 in 10 power minus 31 kilogram. K is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Then E is called magnitude of charge of electron, that is 1.60 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb square. So we are substituting all the values. So we will get radius of orbit. We are simplifying this. We are getting a point 0. It is a 0.529. 0.529 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter we will get. So it is equal to this n square we will write. This n square will write. This z will write. Z also will write. So z also we have written. So this 0.529 will write. Then this n square will write. This z we will write. Then 10 power minus 10 meter is equal to angstrom. So angstrom will write. So r is equal to this much. So radius of orbit is equal to 0.529 n square by z